Hi guys, it's Alicia and I am back here with another video. The SNL team is doing something a little different this go around. We are doing what's called the 12 Days of Christmas, where each day we are going to be showcasing a different Christmas project. I have two go arounds at this, so my first one here is going to be the intro page to my December daily, which I'm calling December documented actually, because I'm not going to be doing it daily. But anyways, this is a chipboard divider that comes with the, I believe it's a 6x8 snap album. And I covered it in clear gesso. And what you see me doing now is taking some Wendy Vecchi translucent embossing paste and a fan brush. And I'm just brushing it from the bottom up. And I wanted it to have like kind of a, they hear you, Livy. I wanted it to have kind of a rougher paint strokey type look, and so that's why I opted to use that technique. And then this is just some gold embossing powder that I have. I think it's Recollections, maybe it came in a set. So yeah, I'm just taking a brush now and just kind of roughing that edge up a little bit more. I wanted it to be just a bit rougher. So I'm going to take my regular heat gun versus the Ranger Heat It tool that you see right there to the right, just because this embosses quite a bit quicker. You can emboss with the Heat It tool, but it does take, a little bit longer because it's a lower temp. But it is quiet, which is why I mainly use that one, just not for embossing. So you can see it kind of bubbling up and kind of over embossing in certain areas, and I didn't mind that because I felt like it just added some texture. Normally when I use embossing paste with embossing powder, I will let the embossing paste air dry before I emboss it, just because it has a tendency to puff up. But in this case, like I said, it just added a little bit more texture, so I didn't mind it. And so I'm just finishing that up. Even with that regular heat gun, it took a little bit. So that's how that came out. And next I am going to, what am I going to do next here? Oh yes. So I have these feathers, and I'll admit this gold part, this gold embossing right here, and those feathers are the only thing that I really pre-planned on all of this. Um, the rest of it, I'm purely winging it. So I have this stamp set, and I believe it's called Painterly Shapes, and it's by that, I don't know if they call it AHA or AHA Arts, but that's what it's from. And you see I dropped my ink pad there, but because it was on the embossing, thank goodness, I could just wipe it up because embossing creates a resist. And so I'm just using this larger circular shape with like a little dashy type pattern in it, and I just inked that up with that Memento Luxe. I believe that's in Love Letter, and I'm just stamping it in the corners there. And some are double stamped. I mean, I didn't need it to be perfect, so yeah. Then I'm taking out my Delicata, which is in gold, and another one of those shapes, which is just kind of like a sketchy circular shape, and I'm doing a little bit of stamping with that as well. So, yeah, I'm liking how that looks, and it's not the same gold as the embossing, but I'm okay with that. Um, I'm attempting to do a bit of mixed media on this page, and I'm by no means like a Gabrielle Polacco, I think that's how you say her name, or anything like that. This is just my attempt at something artistic, I guess you could say. So I pulled out some tags, and I want that to kind of be the main focus of this intro page. And so I'm just kind of deciding what colors I want to use, what size I want to use, how many I want to use. And so that's what you see me doing here, and it's going to take me a little while to decide. So yeah, some of those tags are just shipping tags, some are recollections, some are, I have no idea, they're just in my tag drawer. So yeah, so I'm just doing kind of a little play on them and seeing how I like them. And I think I've decided kind of how I want them to go. So I'm going to take this white tag, and I'm going to take this I forget what that's called, mixed media ink, I think. And that is in the color leather, I believe. And I just smeared it over there and spritzed it with some water to kind of help it blend out and even out. And I see Aaron from Imperfect Impulses do that a lot. So that's what kind of gave me the idea to do this. He does a lot of mixed media and art journaling and stuff, and he's super cool. So I suggest if you're into that and you haven't checked him out, definitely try that. So I just dried it, and now I'm applying some splatters with a Perfect Pearls mist that I created, which is some Perfect Pearls and some water and a mini mister, and heating it up again. And at this point, I'm like not completely sold, but I like it. And that ink isn't completely dry. That is some thick ink, I'll let you know right now, but it gives great coverage. So you see me drying it up a bit on the corners because it was kind of getting all over my hands. So here I was a bit inspired by the Maggie Holmes tags that were out, I believe, or maybe it was Notes and Things, I don't remember, where they had like a crepe paper ruffle on them. So I'm going to try to recreate that. So I just put a line of score tape down the middle and some crepe paper, and I just pleated it as I went. And now you're going to see me grab a couple glue dots, and I'm going to stick one under that first one there to hold it down to the one before it, and I'm also going to do that to the first one to hold it down. And I'm not too concerned about the rest of it because I'm going to tie some of this twine around it a bunch of times and tie it into a bow. And I just thought that was like a cute accent, and I really liked those tags when I saw them like on people's videos and stuff. And so I just thought it would be kind of cool to recreate that and just add that texture and stuff to this page. So I'm still messing with these tags, and that was just out of control. I'm not sure what I was quite thinking at that point. But this is going to be the final arrangement, just these. So yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to go. And I'm going to pull this sheet of music paper, and that is from the Tim Holtz seasonal pad. And it has some great vintage Christmas pieces and papers and all of that in there. So I pulled that one out, and that one is of Jingle Bells, which my kids love to sing, and so I just thought it was appropriate. And now I'm just going to cut some of these strips from the back of that pattern paper, I believe, and I'm going to go through the pad and find another paper that I want to use, and it's going to be this one, which I picked because it brought a little bit of green and red into the layout, so I picked that one also, and I'm just going to ink around the edges of this tag with that Delicata just to bring the gold in right there also. And I'm just kind of playing around with where I want these strips to poke out from behind the tags in the music sheet. So those are kind of the ones that are the same craft color as the chipboard, and now I'm going to cut up some of the red ones. Or excuse me, I think I'm going to take my multi matte medium and stick those down. That's what I'm going to do first. So you're just going to see me. So you're just going to see me placing them, some vertical, some horizontal. There's really no rhyme or reason, just trying to create a bit of balance amongst them and try to keep them in areas where I know the edges will be poking out of everything. And while I'm doing this, I just want to apologize if this voiceover is really choppy. There's something weird with the new iMovie, and you may have heard other people talking about it on their voiceovers, where I have to stop it like every few minutes, or if I just keep letting it go, the whole iMovie shuts down. So yeah, I just let it go a couple minutes, and then I stop the recording, and then I just pick up from where I left off. So hopefully it's not too obvious that that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so now I am pasting down the red and green vintagey ads, I believe they are. I mean, you can't really tell they are because I cut them into strips, but that's what they are. And again, just no rhyme or reason, just trying to balance everything out and create kind of some texture and a little bit of backdrop and interest to where those tags are going to sit. So I believe I am done with that part. I'm thinking. I mean, not on the layout, but right here. I'm thinking I'm done. Yes. So I just cut a bit off the bottom of that tag so it would fit without any edges poking out. And I used one of those Prima chalk inkers. It honestly was just sitting on my desk, and it was a dark brown. I want to say it's like dark bark or dark branch, something like that, and just inked around the edges of that. And now I am taking some drywall tape and I'm just placing it, just a few pieces, I think 3, just where it'll poke out a bit and just give a little bit more of texture. I love that stuff, like using in mixed media, because it's just so cool. Like, who would have ever thought of that, you know? Whoever started using that trend is like amazing, because that stuff is cool. And it's self-adhesive. So, and it's cheap. Okay, I'm going to let the drywall tape go now. So I just put some foam tape on the back of that inked tag with the crepe paper on it. And now I'm just going to take some of that same twine, and I think I tripled it up. So there's like a lot at the top coming through. And I just, yeah, I took like 3 and I looped it through. And now I'm going to take some of this fluid acrylic paint, and it's in gold, and I'm just going to drip it a little bit. I'm not going to let it run or anything. I just dripped it and soaked up a little bit of like the puddling that was going on, and I'm going to take my heat tool and dry that. And now I'm going to take some white Mr. Huey's. This is an opaque white, and I'm just going to do really fine splatters, nothing major, and just make sure I got it all off that embossing. I wanted that to be pretty clear right there. And had to wipe up my area because that white gets everywhere. And I thought about using some of those border stamps. I mean, I just felt like it needed a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to take this script stamp by Teresa Collins, and I leave it at the top of my desk because it's my favorite one, and I use it all the time. And I'm going to take that same brown Prima ink, and I'm just stamping randomly. That script stamp doesn't say anything in particular. It's just very illegible, I think that's how you say it. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to say that, but I think that's how you say it. So yeah, I'm just using some Scotch Quick Dry to put these pieces down the tag and that sheet music pattern paper. And then I took the foam tape off of the back of that tag and laid that down. And now I'm going to take these Teresa Cullen gold, like they're really small tile stickers, and you can get those at Joann's, and they are so cute. Oh, I love those things. They kind of remind me of the Tim Holtz ones that he has in black, but these are gold foil, and I love them. So I'm gonna spell out "lived by" with these, and that's going to sit on that tag. And I have to apologize right now because part of this did get cut out. My camera had died and I didn't realize it. So you are going to miss a little bit, but I will try to fill you in as best as I can at that point. So I went to my die cutting machine and I used my Lawn Fawn Kohl's ABCs, I believe it's called. And I cut out a U and an S out of some of that same Tim Holtz vintage paper with the ads on it, but on the back it has this red color. And I cut each of them out 5 times, and I am just gluing them together with this Zig pen glue thing, just so they're thicker and it will give them some dimension. So I did the U up there, and now I'm gluing together 5 S's. And this glue is great. I love it. It has a pen tip, and I'm just putting small dots on it, and it dries quick, but not so quick that you can't manipulate the pieces. So here's where it cut out. After I glued those onto the craft tag, I took my Wink of Stella in gold clear and just went over them, so you can kind of see the sparkle on them. And then I also took these feathers, which I cut out of watercolor paper, so they have some texture, and that's a Dear Lizzie die from Daydreamer, maybe. And then I took some of my Inca Gold and I put it on just the tips, and then I rubbed it with like a rag, and it just gives it the most amazing shine, especially on that watercolor paper. It was so cool. And so I'm just using my Tombow dot adhesive to put these together how I want them. I didn't want them to be just a perfect fan, and I have 4 of them, which isn't an odd number, but it does represent, you know, our little family. So I have that together, and I took some green American Crafts, I guess twine. I don't know. It's not like a regular twine. It has like fibers that come off of it a little bit. So yeah, I used some of that to kind of bind them together at the bottom, and then I used some Tombow Mono Multi adhesive to just glue them down and place an acrylic block on them so that they could sit still and dry. And yeah, so now I will admit I did steal one of my oldest daughter's watercolor pencils, and it's in like a dark, well, like a medium brown. And I'm going to take that and start outlining some of these strips just to define that and kind of bring this whole area together as like a main area, just because there is a lot going on this, more than I think I had originally thought I would be doing, but I just got carried away. I mean, sometimes I sit down and I just get lost in whatever I'm doing, so I just went right behind me, and I have a sink in my area because I scrapbook in my laundry room, and I love having a sink. And I just grabbed a little cup of water and this really tiny, tiny, tiny brush. I want to say it's like a 000 if that's a size, but I normally use it to like color image stamps or things like that with like my distress markers. So that is why I have it, but I thought it was perfect for this because I didn't want the lines to be huge or the smudges to be huge, the watercoloring look to be huge, however you want to call it, and so it just worked perfect. So I just keep adding more pencil and then water and pencil and water until I'm happy with how this is looking, and I am. I'm liking it more and more. The more I add, the more I'm liking it, so adding a little bit under those feathers to kind of include them in that main area. So, yeah, so I am done with that part, and I'm just going to hit it with my heat gun just to make sure it's all dry. And now I am going off to get some letter stickers because I want to put something else at the bottom, I believe. Is that what I'm going to do? I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I seem to have disappeared. I'm thinking, what should I do? I guess this was before I had that brilliant idea. No. So yes, here are the letter stickers. And yeah, those are the letter stickers. Sorry, I had to end the recording and restart it here. I am going to use these. Those are by Jelly Bean Soup, and I got them when they were at clearance at Joann's for like 19 cents or something, super cheap. And so they're in a brown color, and I'm going to use these. I'm going to use both the uppercase and the lowercase, which I love that they have that. And I'm going to spell out, I put a down in a lowercase and true all in uppercase. I mean, I probably don't have to explain that. You can see it. But I'm going to put down, just spit it out already. I'm just kidding. I'm going to put a true story of our pursuit of of magic. And I don't know where this even came from. It just popped in my head, and I thought it was kind of whimsical. And, you know, we have two small children, so we really try to create a special holiday. Well, I mean, everybody wants to create a special holiday season, but, you know, when your kids are little, it's just different. And they still, you know, believe in everything. I can't say it too loud because we're both here. So, you know, it just brings it back. You know, I feel like I'm reliving it as well. And it's just amazing when your kids are just really, you know, they feel the magic of everything. So that is why I put that there, a true story of our pursuit of magic. And I just think it's cute and playful. And so yeah, so that's what I did. And as you can see, some are in uppercase, some words, and some are in lowercase. So, and I'm going to put an exclamation point at the end. And those little circles for the exclamation points are a headache. Ugh, it was so tiny. So yeah. So, I'm trying to think if I ended up doing anything else to this page. I'm going to go through some of this. This is just my box of Christmas ephemera, and, you know, there's just a lot of stuff in there. And so I went through a couple things, but I didn't find anything that I wanted to put on there that I felt like went really well. Because, I mean, this is more vintagey and, you know, mixed media-ish and stuff. And so I thought about using that Plastic Arrow by Heidi Swapp, but I'm not. I'm actually not going to use anything. You might see me put a vellum piece at the end when I do my close-ups, but I didn't tack that down, and it's not on the page in my binder or anything. I think I was just thinking about putting it on there, and then I had went to bed, and then when I got up in the morning to do the close-ups and finish this up, I had left it on there. So, yeah, it doesn't make it on there when you see it in a little bit. Oh, I'm not done. I am taking, I forgot I did this. I'm taking some of this glass bead medium by Liquitex, I believe. And it's just basically like clear gel. It's glossy, the gel is, but it dries to a clear finish and it has super tiny clear glass beads in it and it's just beautiful. It doesn't look pretty here because you see all that white, but like I said, it dries clear and it's amazing. And so I was just gonna attempt to dry it like that with my heat gun, and then I was like, oh, I should throw some gold glass glitter in here. And so you're going to see me do that. And this glass glitter is by Stampendous, I believe. Is that how you say it? They come in like the kit of 5 or whatever. And so yeah, I'm just taking my palette knife and just sprinkling that onto that wet gel. And I went to bed after this because I didn't want to sit and wait for it to dry. It was like 11 at night. And so this is the morning time. You see that vellum tag down there that says I believe. I'm not using that, but so you can see how beautiful those glass beads and that glass glitter just, oh, I love how that came out. It's just so pretty. So anyways, these are some close-ups, and thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked it, and stay tuned for the rest of the SNL Design Team's 12 Days of Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. See you guys soon. Bye.